It all started on an ordinary Thursday afternoon. I was out of town on a 3-day business trip. Nothing unusual. Back home, my wife and daughter were enjoying a quiet break from the usual neighborhood buzz. We've lived in our home for nearly 5 years. It's a small, cozy place in a unique neighborhood. Half of it falls under an HOA, and the other half doesn't. We intentionally bought a house outside the HOA limits to avoid the extra rules, fees, and constant oversight. But not everyone liked that decision. One neighbor in particular, let's call her Corrine, wasn't a fan. She's an active member of the HOA and often acts like she's in charge of the whole block. Over the years, she's complained about everything. Our fence color, where we park, even the flowers we plant. We usually just ignore it because legally, she has no say over our property. But this time, she crossed a serious line. While I was in a virtual meeting with a client, I got a frantic text from my wife. The police are here. Corrine called them. She's trying to force us into joining the HOA. I was stunned. The police? For what? Turns out that morning, Corrine had shown up at our door telling my wife it was time we did the right thing and joined the HOA. For the sake of property values and neighborhood standards, we politely declined. An hour later, 2 police officers arrived at our home. Corrine had reported suspicious individuals on our property and implied that we might be illegal residents, all of which was completely false. It was an intimidation tactic, and our 13-year-old daughter watched the whole thing unfold from the window. My wife calmly explained the situation, showed the officers our property deed, and clarified we were not part of the HOA. The officers quickly realized what was going on. They were professional and respectful and ultimately told Corrine to stop harassing us. Still, she stood at the edge of our property, arguing about community values and how we couldn't just ignore the rules forever. One of the officers asked her directly, "Ma'am, are they breaking any laws?" She had no answer. Afterward, we filed a formal complaint about her misuse of emergency services and contacted a lawyer to begin documenting her behavior, just in case. A few days later, we received a letter from the HOA board strongly encouraging us to voluntarily join the HOA. It included a list of benefits and a polite nudge about neighborhood unity. No name was signed, but we have a pretty good idea who sent it. Let me be clear, we're not against community cooperation, but joining a private organization with mandatory fees and rules should always be a choice, not something you're bullied into. If you ever face something like this, document everything. Stay calm, stick to the facts, and know your legal rights. Most importantly, don't let anyone scare you into giving up your freedom or peace of mind. As for us, we've upgraded our security, tightened our privacy settings, and we'll be steering clear of any future HOA meetings. Corrine can have her committees and her rules, but we didn't sign up for that, and we never will.